Okay, good. Good noon and welcome to my class. Today's new chapter I am going to start today. Chapter 10. Chapter 10, I'll teach part 1. This is the chapter title name is Useful Material from Crude Oil. Useful material from crude oil. Useful materials from crude oil. Topics: crude oil, separating oil into fraction, cracking hydrocarbons. These are our topics today. I will teach these things. And look at this is the industrial plants in our Bangladesh. Do you know the plants? Have you seen this plant? The plants. This plant is called EBR and EBL Eastern Refinery Limited. Eastern Refinery Limited. It is a plants, oil refinery plants. It is situated in Chittagong. It is situated Potenga. It is situated Chittagong, Potenga. It is a refinery plants. Here, crude oil is refined. It is a refinery plants. It is situated in Potenga, at Potenga in Chittagong. It is established in 1963. This is the oil refinery plants. What means the refinery plants? We know this. We feel refinery plants. Oil refinery plants or oil refinery plants or petroleum refinery is a industrial process plant where crude oil is transformed and refined into more useful products such as petroleum, naphtha, gasoline, diesel, fuel, heating oil, kerosene, liquefied gas, jet fuel, fuel oils. Okay, oil refinery is a industrial plant where crude oil is transformed and refined into more useful products. Crude oil is a mixture of hydrocarbons. It is less useful. Here in oil refinery industry, this is the mixture of different hydrocarbons. It is a crude oil is a mixture of different hydrocarbons. It is less useful. So in a oil refinery industries, this crude oil is transformed and refined into more useful products such as petroleum. It is useful. Petroleum like gasoline, diesel fuel, kerosene. These things is converted into the crude oil is converted into these fractions. So oil refinery industry. Have you understood what is oil refinery industries? Refinery industry is a industrial process plant where crude oil is transformed and refined into more useful product. We convert crude oil into useful product like petroleum, naphtha, gasoline, diesel. Okay, what is crude oil? Crude oil is a mixture of different length hydrocarbons. Compound containing carbon and hydrogen only. Okay, crude oil is a mixture of different length hydrocarbon. Crude oil is a mixture of different length hydrocarbon. Okay, what do you mean by hydrocarbon? Do you know what is hydrocarbon? Who is making sound? Amir Muhammad, Naushin naki Adiba. You should mute Adiba. Sound come from you. Okay, good. Okay. Again, you should mute Adiba. Okay, what is hydrocarbon? Crude oil is a mixture of different length hydrocarbons. So what do you mean hydrocarbon? Do you know anyone what is hydrocarbon? No. Okay. Compound that contains carbon and hydrogen only, they are called hydrocarbons. Like this is a methane. Methane contain carbon and hydrogen only. Hydrogen and carbon only, they are hydrocarbons. Methane is a natural gas. Methane is a hydrocarbon. Compound that contain carbon, hydrogen and carbon only, they are called hydrocarbons. This is the methane hydrocarbon. This is the ethane, C2H6, ethane is the hydrocarbon. Methane hydrocarbon. Then CH3, this is the ethane. Ethane is hydrocarbon. Methane. Like now this is the propane. Propane is hydrocarbon. This is the propane, CH2, CH3. This is the propane. Propane is hydrocarbon. Because it is called only carbon and hydrogen. This is the propane hydrocarbon. Now this is the butane. Butane is also hydrocarbon. Butane also hydrocarbon. Like this is a pentane, hexane, heptane, octane. This way they are hydrocarbons. This hydrocarbon contain carbon one in a chain. This hydrocarbon contain 2 carbon in a chain. This hydrocarbon contain 2 carbon. This is 1 carbon, 2 carbon. 2 carbon contain in a chain. This hydrocarbon contain 1, 2, 3 carbon in a chain. This hydrocarbon contain 1, 2, 3, 4 hydrocarbon in a chain. Okay, this is the ethane. This hydrocarbon name is ethane. This is ethane. Okay, I have a question. How many carbon contain in a chain in ethane? How many carbon contain in a chain of ethane? Have you give my answer? Give me question answer. How many carbon contain in ethane chain? The compound of ethane chain. In the are you listening me? How many carbon contain in this in the chain of ethane? 2 carbon. Good. 2 carbon. This is 1, 2 carbon. So this is the different length. Like this is a crude oil is a mixture of different length hydrocarbons. Crude oil hydrocarbon contain only carbon and hydrogen. Okay. Like this is a compound. Like this is not a hydrocarbon because this is the different elements. Chlorine also present. Okay. A hydrocarbon contain only carbon and hydrogen. So crude oil is a mixture of different length hydrocarbons, compound containing carbon and hydrogen only. Crude oil is a mixture of hydrocarbons, compound containing carbon and hydrogen only. There are lots of different hydrocarbons of various sizes in crude oil, ranging from molecule with just few carbon and hydrogen atoms to molecule containing over hydrogen 100 atoms in the chains. This is contained. এটা কি বলবো জানো এই ওরে কেউ একটা কমেন্ট করো টু মিউট হার আদিবা to mute her making sound. Okay, this next is how did crude oil form? Like this is a millions of years ago, plants and elements or living things in the sea died and fell to the bottom. Layer of sediments form on the top of them. Their shells and skeletons formed limestones. The soft tissue was gradually changed by heat and high pressure into crude oil. Crude oil is a finite. It is not unlimited. It is limited. Finite. Crude oil is finite. It is non-renewable sources. If we use once if we use once again one time it will finish. So crude oil is a এটা বের করে দে হ্যাঁ she should silent. Okay, the crude oil, how crude oil is formed? Crude oil is formed, I told this, the tiny marine plants and animals die and fall on the to the ocean floor, like Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean. The tiny marine plants, animals, also the animals die and fall to the ocean floor. They are buried under the sediment. The layer grow deeper and deeper in a time, compact into the sedimentary rocks. The remains can't rot away since there is no oxygen, but the movement in the earth crust increase the heat and pressure on them, causing other chemical change, and they slowly turn into oil and gas. This is called crude oil. Crude oil, this is from this is also given here. Millions of years ago, plants and animals living in the sea died and fell to the bottom. Layers of sediment form on the top of the sea. Their shell and skeletons formed limestone. The soft tissue was gradually changed by heat and high pressure into crude oil. Crude oil is finite and non-renewable sources. Because crude oil is still forming, so we can say it is a renewable source. No, because crude oil is still forming. It is forming slowly somewhere under in the ocean, but we are using oil up much faster we are using, then it can form. So it is can considered as a non-renewable resources. Okay, crude oil contains 100 of different hydrocarbons. A big mixture like is not much uses. Crude oil is not much uses. So the first step is to separate it into smaller groups of compounds with molecules of similar size. This is called refining the oil. So crude oil is a mixture of 100 of different land hydrocarbons. It is a big mixture. It is not useful. So the first step is to separate it into so we need to separate into smaller groups of compounds. Adiba, you should stop, you mute, otherwise I am going to remove you. Adiba, you should mute as a sound আসতেছে কেন? মিউট করো নাই তো, দেখো না, আমি দেখতেছি তোমারটা মিউট করা নাই, তুমি দেখো মিউট করো। খালি বেবি টেস্কির মতন যে করতেছে। মিউট করে না কেন রে? পোষা একটা জন্য নিয়ে বুঝছে, একটা কই থেকে একটা মোবাইল আনছে, মাইক্রোফোন, একটা পোষা মাইক্রোফোন। এই মিউট, এই তো এখন মিউট হয়েছে, গুড। এটা তো আমি করি দে। ওকে, কিন্তু ইচ্ছা করে করতেছে না, এটা বুঝতে পারছো না? এখানে আমি রিমুভ করলাম না। So big mixture of hydrocarbon is not useful. So the first step is to separate it into smaller groups, compound with a similar size. This is called refining the oil. First step, we turn a big molecule into smaller compounds with molecules of similar size. This is called refining the oil. Separating crude oil. Crude oil is itself has no uses. It has to be separated into fractions before it can be used. The fractions are all mixtures, but each one contain a narrow range of size of hydrocarbons, similar boiling points. We use fractional distillation to separate crude oil into fractions. This carried out in an oil refinery. So we need what is fraction? Fraction is crude oil is a mixture of hydrocarbon. It is not useful. So if we convert into smaller molecules, these are useful. So how do we turn into smaller molecule? We turn into crude oil into smaller by fractional distillation. Fractional distillation to separate crude oil into small fraction. This is carried out in oil refinery plant. This is I showed you at first oil refinery. This is shown in the this is done. This is carried out in the oil refinery. Here, what is fraction? Fraction is a narrow range of size of hydrocarbon with similar boiling points. Okay, this is the range of crude oil fractional distillation. We heat the crude oil. Crude oil enter and we give heat. This is the greater than 300 degrees Celsius temperature. Look, this is the temperature range. This is the temperature range and different size hydrocarbons. This hydrocarbon carbon 50 to carbon 70. This is the fuel oil. Carbon 20 to carbon 50. This is the lubricating oil. Look, this is the carbon 1 to carbon 4. This means carbon 1 methane, carbon 2 ethane, carbon 3 propane, carbon 4 butane, refinery gases. Carbon 1 to carbon 4, these are refinery gases. This is the temperature boiling point range is 50 degrees Celsius. Gasoline temperature range is 120 less than 50. This is the less than 50 to 120. This is the gasoline, and 120 to this is the kerosene. The different length hydrocarbon. This is the carbon 12 to carbon 16. Diesel is carbon 14 to carbon 20, and bitumen greater than carbon 70. This is the long chain. In a chain there is a 70 carbon bitumen, a refinery gas. Comparing the fraction. Comparing fraction, like this refinery gas, how many carbon contain in a chain? 1 carbon in a chain. Fraction is a range of boiling points, like 50 to 120 range. This boiling point range is, we know boiling point is a temperature at which gas turn into liquid turn into the temperature at which liquid turn into gas is called boiling point. Liquid turn into gas is called boiling point. The temperature range for gasoline is 50 less than 50 to 120. This range is gasoline. So what is fraction? Fraction is a temperature range and different size hydrocarbons. Like gasoline, this is the carbon 55 to carbon 10. This range, size of hydrocarbons and this range of boiling points is called fraction. Fraction is a narrow. Okay, this fraction is called gasoline. This fraction is called naphtha, this fraction is kerosene, this fraction is diesel. All this is a crude oil. This is crude oil. Everything is crude oil. This fraction is okay. Fraction. Comparing the fraction like this. Comparing the fraction. কে এটা দাগ দিছে এই ও এমআরজি কে এটা বের করে দিব স্টপ এই ও এমআরজি কে রে এটা বের করে দিচ্ছি এখন লাস্ট চান্স তোমায় দিলাম ডোন্ট টাচ ডোন্ট ডু ইন দ্য স্ক্রিন Okay, this is the smaller chain hydrocarbons. This is the smaller chain hydrocarbon. This is the longer chain hydrocarbon. This is the longer chain hydrocarbon. Like this is how many carbon in the chain? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 carbon. It is 16 carbon, 15 carbon, 70 carbon. This is the longer chain hydrocarbon. This is the shorter chain hydrocarbon like carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 5, carbon 6. These are shorter chain hydrocarbons. These are longer chain hydrocarbons. These are longer hydrocarbons, shorter hydrocarbons, shorter she is not doing by intentionally. Facing problem is not working. The shorter hydrocarbon, shorter chain hydrocarbon, shorter chain hydrocarbon or crude oil. This is the longer chain hydrocarbon. Longer. Sorry, this is the longer, shorter. Okay. This is the longer chains hydrocarbons. We know the shorter chains hydrocarbon like methane. It is flammable, easily flame. If we take some shorter chain hydrocarbon here, easily flammable. They are easily flammable. Shorter chains, they are easily flammable, more flammable. Shorter chain hydrocarbon are more flammable, more flammable, more flammable. Their longer chain hydrocarbon are short. They are less flammable. They are less flammable. Longer chains are less flammable. Flammable means how easily a substance catch fire. How easily a substance catch fire. they are flammable. These are longer chains are less flammable. Okay, 10 minutes remaining. I'll arrange meeting again. Less flammable. Okay, these are less flammable. Smaller chains molecule, shorter chain hydrocarbon are more flammable. Longer chain are less flammable. Like this is a test tube. Here easily shorter chains easily easily fall. Shorter chains molecule easily fall down. Runny, this is runny, can move easily like kerosene move easily. These are runny, they move easily. Longer chains hydrocarbon are sticky. Longer chain hydrocarbon are sticky. They don't fall. They are sticky. Longer chains hydrocarbon are sticky. They are sticky. Okay, they are runny. Smaller, shorter chains hydrocarbon are runny. Longer chains hydrocarbons are sticky, and they are more volatile. If we take some gas, this is volatile, easily turn into gas. They turn into easily gas. They are more volatile. They don't form gas easily, don't turn into gas easily. They remain solid or liquid. They are less volatile. They are more volatile. Okay, they are more volatile. Okay, have you understood the properties of hydrocarbon, different fraction? Okay, comparing the different fraction. এই এটা বের করে দেই, এটা কি তো ও এমআরজি না, এটা শেষ, এখন ওর কাজ শেষ। এই যে মিস্টার কটা আইছে, এই তিনটা বের করে দেব। মিস্টার কি গস্ট, এই তিনটা শেষ। ওকে, শেষ করছি, এই তিনটা আউট করে দিছি। Okay, like this is the fraction. This fraction LPG refinery gas. This fraction is used for the top. This fraction is low boiling point, very volatile, flow easily, ignite easily, flammable. There in the bottom the longer size hydrocarbon, large molecules, they are high boiling point, not very volatile, does not flow easily, does not ignite easily. These are residue bitumen, these are fuel oil, these are petroleum, kerosene, these are runny, easily fuel, easily volatile, refinery gases, fuel oils. Okay. Cracking. What is cracking? Cracking is a process in which we turn longer molecules into smaller using temperature, pressure, and temperature, and also using catalyst. We turn longer molecules. Longer molecules are less useful, so we need to become useful. So we break down the bigger molecules into smaller alkane and alkenes. Breaking down a long chain molecule into a smaller alkane and alkene is called cracking. Okay, cracking is a process. Cracking is a process in which long chain alkane are converted into alkene and short chain alkane. Okay, why do we do cracking? Here is a cracking. This is the long hydrocarbon alkane. This is the how many carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hydrocarbon. Now it is I break down cracking into shorter chains. This is the 4 hydrocarbons alkane. This is the carbon-carbon double bond. This is the alkene. So in a cracking we convert long hydrocarbon into short alkane and alkene. Okay, why do we do cracking? We do cracking for in a long chain. Long hydrocarbon is less useful, but short hydrocarbon are useful. Short hydrocarbons are useful, more useful. Okay. And also this alkene form, this alkene, this the carbon-carbon double bond containing alkene. This carbon can be used for the polymerization. We can form polythene, we can form plastics. So they are useful. How do we cracking? Cracking is we do it use temperature. We use temperature 600 to 700 degrees Celsius, and we use also catalyst. This is the crude oil. Like this is this is the long chain hydrocarbon. Here chains, long chain hydrocarbons. And this is also catalyst also here. Catalyst is silicon dioxide. Catalyst is used to fast the reaction. So catalyst is also used here. Catalyst is silicon dioxide is used. Ammonium dioxide is used. Catalyst. So here is a longer chain hydrocarbon breakdown, and it forms smaller hydrocarbon. This is the product form. This is the alkene gas can be tested here. Alkene gas form and alkane form. Okay, cracking in the lab. Okay, evaluation. What is a crude oil? Give my question answer. What is crude oil? What is crude oil? Hello, are you listening me? What is crude oil? Give my question answer. What is crude oil? Give the question answer. Hello students. Everyone should unmute and give the question answer. What is crude oil? Okay, less than 1 minute remaining. What is crude oil? Okay, crude oil is a mixture of different length hydrocarbons. What is fraction of crude oil? Say one fraction of crude oil. Why cracking is so important?